Austin Peay is in Tennessee, not Texas, where I thought it was initially. It is in Tennessee, about 45 minutes outside of Nashville. And we have a great staff. FCS, our head guy does an unbelievable job setting the culture. And then guys like myself and Coach Beckwith, who's on here as well, follow in line and just promote that message. So we're 1 year there. Kevon was with Coach Hud at Mississippi State, at ULL, and I was with him at Mississippi State. That's where I met him, and then I made the jump, and I've been 1 year there. So super excited to be there, what we've accomplished already, and we're just getting started. So I'm originally from the Northeast, Nashua, New Hampshire. Went to Plymouth State College with one of the great ones, Matthew Friedman. He was good. I was not. And went from Plymouth to Springfield, and then Springfield to Brown, Brown to Northeastern, Northeastern to UMass, UMass out here to Oregon where I was a GA, back to Fordham, Fordham to Princeton, Princeton to Bryant, Bryant to Mississippi State, State to Austin Peay, where I'm at now. So I'm an open book. You guys ever need anything, let me know. I'll send you this. I do have now the video on an MP4 file. I figured that out. Any questions or anything, let me know too. So I'll start with just kind of the PowerPoint piece and, go from there. Email, we can talk afterwards. Again, anybody needs anything, once we get back and do some football, you guys are always welcome. We are an open book, open door. Our head guy loves having people around, and we're a family atmosphere. I know you guys are familiar with UMaine and their culture and UNH and their culture. It's as good of a kind. I've been to those schools and played against those schools and know those guys well, but our culture is every bit as solid as that. I mean, our head guy sets it, and we're a tough, disciplined, loving team now. I mean, our environment is take care of our kids, and so really excited to come home via Zoom. So let's get rolling on O-line, pass pro fundamentals. I'm going to talk about some EDDs, everyday drills, so to speak. And again, if anybody has any questions, just chime in. Every day means every day, not lip service. Practice, detail the work. The train moves and stops on nobody, coaches included, technique and posture. I mean, what I'm trying to get across there is you're just going to fall in line. If something happens, you're hurt, you're injured, you're sick, you're out. Train doesn't stop. So you got to have everybody ready to go, whether you have 5 guys, 6 guys, 7 guys. I was going to say 4, but you got to play with 5. Whether you have the depth or not, you got to play with guys. So you got to get guys ready to go, and no one cares on Friday night or Saturday who you're playing with. They just want to see you play. So to me, I just believe in the technique of the pass pro, obviously everywhere, but specifically pass pro, which we're talking today, and posture, just putting yourself in good posture and staying upright and not bending at the waist and hunching over, and just really being in good posture, which we'll get into. Watch Indy and watch it with your group all year long. Watch one-on-one, twist drill, pods in the run game. It doesn't have to be every snap. Just take a couple clips, whether you're on XOs or whether you're on Huddle or whether you use your phone. I use my phone all the time to film me doing a stupid drill to send to my guys, and then they're sending it to me. So the more you can communicate, I mean, you see how we're working now with Zoom, the more we can do that, the better. So, and the kids love to watch themselves, obviously. I mean, you guys know that. You guys are educators. You see it every day. Cross-train both sides. So work guys inside and outside, pretty much self-explanatory. I want guards to be right and left. I want tackles to be right, left. I want guards to be tackles, tackles to be guards. And I teach everybody to snap. Everybody. Whether it's direct snap, like a spiral snap, like you're throwing a football, or grabbing it like a knuckleball and sending it back. I believe anybody has the ability to snap. You just got to find what works best for them. I firmly believe anybody can do it. And then, if you got a guy with an issue and knock on wood, breaks his hand, you try to get the guy to go lefty, which is easier said than done. That's more clinic talk. I do both sides, and I do inside and out. Work sets and angles. It's the only time I really get into math. How do you get there? And I'll show you as we go. I just call that the spot. Again, I'll show you as we go. 5 strong is a way of life, not a slogan. It's a mentality. Tough, physical, disciplined, and, love you at the end of the day. Cross the line, that's different. Once we're on the field, all business, having fun. But that's our slogan. That's who we are and what we believe in. So I'm going to go to some video, and then anything that pops up, feel free to jump in. So kind of an old school way to do it, but I'm not going to change it. I learned it from George DeLeon and Brian Picucci, and I love it. I think it's a great way to do it. You can do it in your camps. You can do it with young guys. You can really do it with anybody. You got, 2 deep, 3 deep, whatever it is. I line them up. So can you guys see that when I'm drawing on it?
Yep.
Awesome. Center, left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle. Everybody starts up in a right stance. He's probably in the best stance here. A little too flat back for me. 2 upright. He's my center. He's not in it yet, Bucky. And he's pretty decent here. Stagger's going to be different for everybody. Guards are in a 3. Tackles are in a 2, unless it's, situation football. 3rd and short. Times I'll go everybody down in a 3. Goal line, 1 yard line going in. Everybody in a 3. Not always, but can. And then 3rd and long, 2 minute. I can put everybody in a 2, although the guards like being in the 3. So stance is going to be a staggered. Everybody's going to be different. I don't believe in toe to instep, toe to heel. Everybody's going to be different. And then you'll see what I do is once I got you in this stance, I'll show you as we go. I'll walk over and I'll push on the side, push here, and I'm just trying to get you to have a foundation. Everybody's foundation is a little bit different. But if you have a good foundation, you got a shot to have a good house. So I get them all up in the line, in the grid squares we call them, and back off a line. So I get the lines here. Imaginary line, line, imaginary, just step off. And the commands will be up. I'll be down, so they get, stagger, up, stagger. They get into their stagger. I'm going right foot. Stagger, and then I say down, 2-point, hands behind the back, rod the back. Now we've kind of progressed here. So I just say up, I say down, everybody's in a 2-point. And then once they're in, I just want them to fit into that stance. You can see them working. Like this is Bucky, freshman, going to be a hell of a player, had a great year for us. But that's kind of the stance I'm looking for. The offhand can go all the way down to the knee. I just try to avoid the chicken wing, which is this right here. And getting down into your stance. Again, everybody's base is going to be a little bit different. All right, and then what I do is I'll go all up at once, okay? So if I go back, I'll say one when I say move, or I'll say kick, or I'll blow a whistle. Usually it's just move. One move. When I say move, it equals 1 kick, and then I'll constantly change it. So I'll say, all right, when I say move, it's 1 kick. Everybody in the right-hand stance. Move, move, move. So they've done 3 kicks. Okay, then I'll come back and say, all right, switch it. Let's go left-hand stance. All right, move, move. They've done 2 kicks. All right, then I'll come back and say right-hand stance. We're going to power going back inside. Move, move. They've done 2 powers. Then I'll come back and say, all right, now we're going to go left-hand stance, power, move. They've done 1. So that's kind of just an example. And then when I say break, they go back to their original spot quickly with a little bit of enthusiasm, if you will. Next would be, once I've done that, I break it down into, I'm going to go here quickly. So I'm going to start on the right side. So here are the right tackles. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, all right, everybody down. They're down. Move, 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 break. And then immediately when I say break, these guys are down and I'm in front of them. And I'm saying move and they're just going right side. But the commands will always be, all right, guys, when I on the commands, I want to, when I say move, it's a kick. When I say move, again, it's a power. So I'll come out. Now I'm like, give me 2 powers, 2 kicks, move. And they go 2 powers, 2 kicks. Or I'll say, give me 3 powers. 3 kicks, 1 power, move. And they do that. So you're just kind of changing that up. I think it's a great way to do it. I think you can do this all year long and constantly change. But once they're done, they hustle back. I'm working here. And we're all doing the same thing. One move equals one kick. Okay, and then I'll come back and say, once I go down the line, I'll start here and say, switch stances, let's go left. All right, when I say move, give me one kick. Move, move, move. All right, break, come over here. Move, 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 break, all the way down the line. Then when I get over here, I'll just change what I want to do. I'll say, all right, hey, when I say move, give me powers. So move, now you're powering down inside. Or you can say kick, you can say power, you can say whatever you want. Or you can go off a whistle. Double whistle gets them back to the line. I think it's a great way, especially in your summer camps where you got large numbers, to get guys moving, to evaluate a lot of guys. And sometimes you're not going to see it on the field. So just go back and watch it on camera. So if I had my group right here, I'd say, good stance, Caleb, need more posture. This is posture to me. I get posture when you first start. So if you're facing me like this, that's posture. That's upright, but that's also a little unrealistic. You're probably going to be a little bit more like that. So slope back's what I call it. And then everybody's heard the Z in the knees, Z in the ankles. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. You know, Kyle was a senior, graduated, and he's a really good athlete. So I would look at the film and say, Kyle, like your posture. Gary, probably two. You need a little bit more staggers, what I'd say. Nate, you're sprawling in the back, hunched over, too big of a split. And then Jake, you need a little more stag. So just things like that, just things you can look at quickly, and that didn't take very long. So now you can see me just working the right side. And when I say kick, it's one at a time. It's not fast. And guys, this is early on. We don't even have pads on. This is last year. Obviously, we didn't have spring ball. I have a bunch of stuff from the season. But I started in the camp. And you can see how you want it to go. Like now I'm going to the left, and I'm just saying move, 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 move. And I love how Kyle's got lower hands. I love how his posture. And then you can see his weights on the inside. Talk about never giving up a post leg. Okay, so let me talk now. Once we've gone, past pro sets. Okay, let me get the next one. So we're going to, and then I'll power it, obviously. So I'll get a couple examples. All right, so I go with like a run deal every day and a pass. So this would be part of the warm-up. In the run, we come right over here, right before practice. Here's our circle of cattle right here. We all stretch out. They can talk about anything they want in that circle except school. No school talk. Okay, so there's your circle of trust. We're all right here stretching. When I say blow the whistle or I say move, we come right over here, and I got a 4-cone drill, and they're going to demeanor to the cone, power, flip your hips, demeanor, and that's a quick one, and then we come right over here. And all I'm looking for here is you can put cones, you can put tape, you can put whatever. But I have 6 cones. So I'm looking to kick, power, and you can put the added one in, 8 cones, and do it that way. You can go 2 to 3 times, however you want. But I'm trying to get my shoulder square, hip square, and not concerned about the cone. I'm just using that as the angle. So I'm trying to get 3 to 4 kicks quickly, 3 to 4 post, 3 to 4 kicks, 3 to 4 post, and then I'll have them settle. You can see Blake's already done it, and he's settling in the back. Weight on the inside. Weight on the inside. Weight on the inside half of the feet. And you don't want to ever give up your post leg, kind of what I hit on a second ago. But I start practice every day. Kyle had a tendency to get that foot in the ground. He had a tendency to turn his hips a little bit, but you can see him fire his feet, and he can change direction pretty quickly. Sprawls a little bit with his feet, and I'm okay the way he's carrying his hands. Okay, what I'm going to talk about now is, I'll get the one. I'm trying to get it, so. Is this really choppy, or you can see it? You guys good? You can see it?
It's good. You're good.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to talk about with the spot. So let's say this is the left guard, okay? Center, quarterback is way back here. Launch point for 5-step, it's going to vary. Some guys are 7, 7.5, 6.5. So we're at 6.5 to 7, let's just say 7, okay? So wherever that defender lines up, here, 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 here. And that defender, Kevon will talk to you, could care less about you. He wants to kill that guy. Direct line to the quarterback is the straightest line. It's the only time I ever use math. I'm not that smart. That's the only time I'm ever using math. There's your straight line. All right. So put a guy here, put a guy here, put a guy here. Set to the spot. So I work at an angle, 45-ish, okay? I usually don't go flat. I like to be 45, and then I call it a 70. I may be off with my degrees, but that's what I call them, 45s and 70s. So when I work to a 45, I want to stay inside out. And, again, here's the quarterback. So where's the spot? The spot is where the defender is, the launch point, and where I intersect that line staying inside out. That's the spot. So we constantly talk about the spot. Set the spot, get to the spot, get to the spot, get to the spot. Get to the spot, beat the defender to the spot, and stay inside out of the defender, and then assault the defender. So we can talk when we're done. I was always big. I learned from Bob Serace, who learned it from Paul Alexander. I get it, the independent hands and all that stuff, and that's what I learned. And I still do independent hands at tackle when I have a wide rusher. But I'm going two-hand punch. So the guy I worked for at Mississippi State, Marcus Johnson, okay, he was independent hands. What I found was I talked to a guy, and I went and visited him. His name's Artis Hicks, and totally changed my mind. So what I got from that was I went out and met him. He's in Tennessee, trains guys, and I went out on the field with him, and I was holding the bag. And I said, listen, just go independent hands. You set to the spot and hit me as hard as you can. So he hit the bag. And obviously I felt it. Big dude, strong. I felt it. But then he went with the two hands, and it just about went through my chest, out my back. So when I felt that, to me, I just changed. So I went to that last year in August, and now I'm especially inside. So basically, if I have a 3 technique and I'm a tackle, 1, 2, 3, 2-hand punch. 4-eye, 1, 2, 3. Really, it's on the 4th, and punch. So I talk about getting to the spot and assaulting the defender. Now, things that you can work, like I'm talking about every single day. You don't always need the grid squares. You can get your guy right here. So here's Bucky. And I can say down in a stance, let's work a left-hand stance. You can work your kicks just on that angle. All right, Bucky, I want to go powers. Work your powers. Okay, every single day. Now just mix it up and say, all right, Buck, I want to go 3 powers. 3 kicks, 3 powers on the move call. Kicks, powers. And then he settles and comes to balance. Bucky, give me 3 powers, 3 kicks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and settle. I think it's a great way to constantly change up, and you can do it really quickly. So this right here, the Pass Pro cones, we do every day. And you can see this is early on, and he's so much better at this. The transition goes too far outside, and he's trying to go too fast. But I love how he comes back to balance, and that's good football position other than just a little bit too much stagger. But this is outstanding. Hands are fine here, maybe a little bit higher, but I'm fine with it. And then, obviously, you deal with the punches. But I think everything you do starts with the ground up, ground up. So right from the cones, we had the 6 cones, right? I would put a cone here, set to the spot, set to the spot. So like it's a 3 technique or a 4-eye, a shade or a 2-eye for a center, a 5 or a really wide rusher as a D end. So those are the 2. Start that every day with the Pass Pro cones and then this. Now get rid of that. They've already done that. Now I'm going to step at the guy on offense, and he's doing the same thing. He's going to set to the spot and punch. Now what I don't like here, too far. But I love the punch and then flat back down the line. Okay, and I'll do this with tackles. I think I have that one on here too. So the inside guy, centers and guards, set, punch, and then back down inside. So you've punched, and then you get the redirect. And I do this with the tackles. And then I do it with the tackles where they set and then they get straight back. So you're trying to just get them full 1, 2, 3, punch, back inside. And then they settle. You can see you went a little bit too far. This would be an example of center, sets. And what I'm trying to do here is now I got a guy that's on my snap hand. So I got a snap. Blake goes maybe a little bit too far and would get beat on a crossface. But again, this is super early in camp. I'm trying to get to that area right there, usually where there's a logo. And I'm trying to set as fast as I can and get that offhand right here, right now. Punch and then get my other hand up. So the tackle and center, I'm going to get some independent hands. And then at guard, I'm really, really focusing on a two-hand punch. And then I show you how he's on a snap hand. But you can see how he punches and then back inside, and it really helps on the transitioning. And then the other piece I work with, the tackles, is you set to the spot, punch, and now get vertical again. And Seth has gotten so much better, so much smoother. And the more you can do this, the better. And it's not going to look great when you first start. It's not natural for guys to go backwards. But I think it's a great way. I have this in here too. Great way for guys to, work sets, whether it's setting outside, setting back inside, how you setting on a wide rusher, wider rusher, deep of the set, how you setting on a two-wide. I never set pass via the neck, and just things that you talk about in the sets and then how you drill it. So, like I talked about, this is number one, set to the spot, set to the spot, set to the spot, and just put the spot there. And you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can go as far out as you want and just have them setting here, just setting the different angles. And I think the faster they can get there, the quicker they can get there, the better off you're going to be. And then you work the punches. Like so many guys want to get violent with the punches. I'm like, no, you got to get your feet right. I'm not a self-promoter at all, but I am going to say this. Part of it's our scheme and what we did. And but we take a lot of pride in not giving up sacks. And we were top 10 in the country last year of not giving up sacks. And we're talking about a program that hasn't had a winning tradition. So, but you got to get your guys to believe in it. So I guess what I'm saying is when you're talking about pass pro, whether you're a true drop back, whether you're quick game, whether you're play action, however you're going to teach them to get there, you still got to get to a spot. You got to get onto an area of a defender and be physical and hold guys off. It is a mindset. It is a mentality. Mentality is everything. So do not talk about pass pro, like do all your run game stuff and then, let's do a little pass pro. No, I start every day with a run drill and then I go to pass. Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. And the guys buy into it and they take pride in it. A lot of times early on, and this is like early on in practice, this is during a special teams period, I'm working different, like Seth needs to work the set and coming back inside, so I'll take the helmet off because he has a tendency to bury his head. So this is just this one, and I'll come back to it, and I got a bunch of these. Just different ways to do this. I'll do this with a med ball too, where I'll have med ball, med ball, med ball. He shoots the med ball at Seth. Seth hits hands. Now I set here, shoot the med ball. Come flat over here, shoot the med ball at him. Here I'm just using the bags. And we can go down the line too. So I'll just keep going through some of the different drills. But again, the things that you're going to talk about are posture. This is good posture by Seth. Weight inside, knees inside the ankle, feet outside the hips, however you want to word that. I'm in great balance right here. I never give up my post leg. And then when you hear guys talk about oversetting, I want to stay inside. Down the middle is a loss. Outside's a definite loss. So I want to be inside. Some guys say knee to crotch. I want to stay inside of the defender. So I want to work on that near number. In my hand, my punching area, you can see the logos. I'm trying to get that logo right there with my outside hand. and then my inside hand punches basically on the sternum to that inside number. If I can get a two-hand punch at tackle, I'm going to do that, but a lot of times you're not getting that. All right, you can do this anywhere. You can do this on a basketball court. My guys are doing this in the yard at home. I do it with a board. I do it with a line. And I go right down the line. I don't care if you're guard, center, and I just get you rolling all the way back. Just keep going. Now, we'll rapid fire this, so it's not just like long and you can see guys waiting. Again, this is just, a lot of this is pre-practice during special teams, just kind of finding some time. You know, Brian couldn't move at all, and you can still see how he's on his toe. Each guy is going to be a little bit different, but just get him going. This is an easy drill to do. Now, you see how he's turning? So everybody's got things at home, okay? I use a PVC pipe. I put the PVC pipe here to try to stay square. All right, I don't have a PVC pipe. Okay, use a shower rod curtain. Use a pole. Use a piece of wood. It doesn't matter. Just use something that you can do, or have a band, those rubber bands, those exercise bands, and just kind of hold that out there for balance. And I'm trying to keep my shoulders square, my hips square, and I'll get to this part, but I really want to keep us square. The more I'm turned and angled, I'm really going to give up that inside. And you'll see as guys set, they'll really, when they go to transition and power back inside, they're going to open up and give that lane. I call it opening the door, and you're going to get killed. These are drills, and again, everyday drill. Like, look at Brian. I love the hand. He never put his hand up. And this is, again, early on. And I'm just working to get back and then settle. And then as some of it is like the old school pass pro. But I'm trying to work and get back fast. I do this drill, set to the spot, punch, bang, and then get back. So I'm working my punch, and it's just working different counter actions. So I don't just stop my feet. I want to constantly keep my feet moving. And you can see even Kyle, who's super athletic, turns a little bit. And then bring him back. Okay? So vertical set, I'm trying to punch, and I'm trying to work and get there fast. All right, I swear by this. I swear by it. All you need is a med ball, 14 pounds I use. You can use a 12, 10, whatever. And I got this, one of the only things I wanted was the med balls. So we do this every day, and I didn't have the one, so I'm going to show you. I start out with the guy just holding it. You don't even need these guys. You know, get rid of them. You don't even need them. Set on the line. And I think what's great about this now is you can do the same drill. So let me just come back. That's 18. So come back to this. Okay, I get it. You may not have 5 med balls. You may only have 2, and that's fine. Put a guy here, put a guy here, and both go on the same side. If you got a third, I go 3 lines. That's how I do it. But you can do the same things here. Now just give them a med ball. So I get everybody's not going to have it, but your first line may, or your 3 guys up. And now have them holding a med ball, and they're just in their stance, 2-point stance, working posture. So let me come back to 18. So no defender yet. And I'm just holding the med ball. Okay. Let me show you so you guys can see me. I'm holding the med ball, and all I'm trying to do is get my posture. You'll see a lot of times guys are like this, and I'm constantly trying to correct them. I think this is a great, great drill or a series of drills that I'm going to show to do all year long. Again, this has become, it was not during camp. I did it every couple days. I'm doing it every single day. I got the resistant bands, and they're just great tools. You can see me here with Bucky. They're going to want to duck their head. So what's awesome after practice, before practice, a lot of times, you know, our D-line stays out there for hours, and they're working this sled, you know, this old crappy sled. Well, it's what we have. So we work that all day long. Well, for me, I can get a lot of stuff done in my meeting room. We're on like in the press box, and I go on the 3rd floor. So I just call it the lab. So we're constantly working these drills in the bands, shoes off, getting used to playing on the inside half of your feet. And we do it in the weight room on the little turf area. You don't need a lot of space. You don't need a lot of equipment. But the med ball works the whole core. And I know when we talk core, we think core is this. Well, core to me is that. It's your hips. It's basically your lower body. So my abs, my hips, my groin, my lower back, my glutes. I feel like that's my whole core. And if I can be strong in my core, you know, it's funny. We watch film all the time. You know, now it's what we do because we don't have time to, you know, be with our guys and coach. So everybody's going to recruit more. So we're watching the film, and so many times guys will be like, oh, he's a waist bender. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. But he's not always going to be a waist bender. You have to develop these guys. So you guys get your guys from junior high, Pop Warner, junior high, into high school. You're developing the best you can, the time you're allotted. Well, so many guys in college, oh, we're just going to have the finished product. That's crap. You got to recruit the kid, find things that you like, and then develop them. I mean, developing is where coaching comes into play. So for me, I take so much pride in the guys, you know, working the craft, developing them. And it's not lip service, it's every day. So you can see the drill I'm doing right now, all right? I have the med ball out in front, no defender like I was saying. And now just stand there in place, kind of feel the ground with your feet. Now rotate the ball, rotate back, rotate again, rotate back. Okay? And then hold it there and strain 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's burning. And they hate it, which means it's working. You got to get them to be in this position all the time, guys. That right there, that position, all the time. Did I miss something? I got something. We're good. I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
all right.
we're good, Coach.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep rolling, man.
Any questions? Anybody got anything?
Anybody's got anything out there you want to pop on your mic real quick and get a question in? Go ahead.
Anybody? Awesome. So this is the position, like I'm saying, you need to be in, you need to live in. And I firmly believe you can get there with not a lot of equipment, just constantly doing it. Now, some guys are going to be super stiff. I get it. Just constantly work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, and they will get better. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll show you as we go. So now they got the med ball. Now I'm hitting the med ball, just patting it. You know, a lot of this med ball stuff, I know you guys have seen. Charles Bentley does a great job with this stuff. I've stolen it from him. I already mentioned, you know, Bob and whatever. We all steal from everybody. But I feel like these are things I've picked up on during my career that I just think work, and I steal. And then I'll add in different little variations. So now picture this drill right now with these guys. Like I'm hitting the ball, and it looks like nothing. They hate this. Like you can see Kyle over there. The ball's probably a little too far off. Bring it in a little bit. And then I'll show you the next piece I'm going to do. I hit the ball. I think I have that one on there. Okay. So I would hit the ball. Just bear with me. I don't have it on here. I'm hitting it this way, this way. Now he's moving it back and forth and stationary, and I'm hitting it. Then I put my hand on the ball, and I'm leaning on it. Okay? I punch it. He takes one kick. I punch it again. He takes another. Punch it again, takes another. On like the fourth one, I'm leaning on it, and he's fighting the resistance. I'm leaning on the bag, and then I say break. He drops the ball and just takes about 3-4 kicks fast. Same thing. You can have him set quickly, like 3 or 4 kicks after that, and then power back inside. Just another different change-up. But I feel the med ball gives you the resistance, and then you kick back and you're going fast. So now I do the same drills. I'm saying move, and it's continuous kicks. You can easily break this down and say, when I say move, give me one kick. Okay, I'm not here. I'm just saying move, and it's continuous. I say break, and he comes to balance. This, again, you can do every day. Move, stop. Now, when I say move again, have them power. So it would look like something like this. And you can do it this way. Kick, power, kick, power, break. So I'm just giving you a different variation of it. This one to me is move as fast as you can, continuous, break, and then come to balance. And if you don't like the rep, reload it, okay? And then I'm right down the line to Blake. And I think a good way to do this is just going two guys up at once. And again, right side, teach everybody to right, teach everybody to left. And you can see Bucky, this is early on, and he's gotten really good at it. Early, and you're going to get some guys that do this too. They're going to flare their knee out. A great way to prevent that is to stand over here. Okay, I'm standing here. You can see me like this. I'm standing here. And I'm leaning on his hip. Like I'm literally leaning on it. And all I'm telling him to do is kick the right foot back. So kick, replace, kick, replace, kick, replace. And learn to generate that from here, not keeping the knee tucked inside. So I'm going that way, not that way with my knee. And that's, guys, I get that all the time. And that's something you can fix, no question. So med balls daily. So you can see what we're doing here. And then I think, again, like I mentioned, great having three guys up at once. And I have it here. I'm just working different things where they're setting to me. Now just setting, staying inside out. And I'm just another way to do it. I'm a wider 5 in this instance. I'm working here, setting to the spot, keep going, keep your distance, staying inside out while straining and holding the ball. The more you can be in that posture and breaking it down, I think they're great preseason. I think it's great off-season. And the ones that I'm doing daily are the ones I showed you. That's every day. We come up and I stand like this. I come up and I hit the ball. And we do that every single day, and we do that before games. Before games, I'll give you that. I'll get to that. Getting ahead of myself. I'll end with that one. But you can see I'll get guys up on the line, on, down, we start moving. You know, as you get your group and you're getting better, this wouldn't be allowed. I don't like Kyle. He kind of just gets into it. No, get up to the line, have some intent, get down, start working. So my commands here would be move. You're starting to kick. Move. You're powering. Move. Kick, move, power. And you can also do it with a wave where they're looking at you, just constantly changing. And then the drill I showed you before where you straddle the line and you're going straight back, just hold the med ball and kick as fast as you can. Just work down the line powers, continuous, holding the med ball. It forces you to maintain your posture, and it strengthens your core. Firmly believe in it, and I wouldn't just do it if I was O-line. I do it at every position. I think it's unbelievable off-season training. All right, I'm going to show you this one. You know what? I think I have it. I'll get to that. I'll get to it. But remind me when we're done. So I'll take those resistant bands. I put one here. I put one here. And I pull that way. And I pull that way. And I give them the med ball. And I just want you to get the feeling of having to squeeze my knees a little bit. And I just hold you in there for 30 to 45 seconds. I'll say break, you switch it up, and then we come back and switch the stance. Again, everybody's working right, everybody's working left. And I think the more that you can do the resistance with the bands and the med ball, you learn those movements, and they become everyday habits. I mean, that's pretty good by Kyle, 77. I mean, this kid right over here was a tight end, moved to me, and played every game for me. Now, where he's a little bit tight is in his hips, and everybody sees that. And you have to develop it. Like, that's so much better than he was in the previous spring. So it's going to happen, and it gets frustrating. but just keep working it. And then when you say stop, like watch Kyle. He's like, oh man, I was out of balance. Like, see how he's out of balance? Oh yeah, you're right. There you go. And fix it. This kid, Garrett Bell, like the worst ever. He is the hardest working kid I have. He was a redshirt freshman last year. His work ethic is off the charts, and he's gotten so much better. So, like, I think I have a couple with him in there. I'll have to show. Yeah, I'll show you when we go. But he couldn't move. All right, this one I like doing too, where you set and then you're throwing and then you're getting back. Anything you can do to work a set and then just throwing, I want him to throw the ball, and then I just change this one up, work a power. So you saw the kick where I went straight back, kick where I went to power, just constantly changing. And this is good by Bucky. So Bucky works to a 3 and then just stays on. And I love how he comes to balance, but see how quick he wants to get up? You got to get him to live in that world right there, that world. So you take a picture of that, that's the world. You probably can convince me maybe hands up just a little bit, but I kind of like it because Bucky's been awesome at punching. He gets to the spot. He's square right there. I mean, to me, that's awesome. That's great posture, demeanor. He's in an athletic position. So that's it. That's life right there. You want to live in that world, not that world. You saw how fast he wanted to get out of it. And I think the more you can just rep little things like that, like, okay, put another guy in there, throw it, throw the ball at Bucky and have him hit it. There's so many different ways to do it. It's just another example with Kyle. Hold on, froze on me. Let me get this back. Oh. I put a couple up. Let me come back. I put a couple in from, because obviously we were in a quarantine and I had to make some of these from things that were already on my computer. I did the power. I think this is a great one, and we do this every day as well. Firm hands. All I'm doing is feeling the ground and then stepping at the defender. What I do every day, though, is, I think I have that one in here too, but if I don't, I'm stepping at him, he's punching, and then he comes to balance again. Then I step at him. So you really are going to work back a little bit. So I'm on offense, I'm on defense, I step at him with the bag. I think I do have that on here. I love this one. So what I've added in on this is down the line, I have bag, med ball, bag. I try to have like 7 of them and right down the line. These are some of the young guys there. What I don't like, that's not violent enough. I'm looking for that punch to like throw it in there. Throw your hands, young pup. You can see Cordavian, super young pup. But again, just going down the line, I have it here too. You can see I use the med balls. Not a race. Guys are going to want to go fast. You want to get in front of the defender, cover them up. And then I like the med balls because it's a smaller target. So you aim small, you miss small. So one of my favorite kids right here, he's 5'10" tops. That's probably being nice, from Apopka, Florida. He's a PWO, and he's going to play a ton of snaps for him. He does everything right. Super smart kid, just a worker. And be violent with your hands, but more importantly, doing this one, talk about your lower body. And then you can see I add in the bags with the med balls. And the reason I like this is because you keep them in that position. Like, look at 51, Colby. You're in that position for a long time. It's a long time to hold that. Long time. Guy on defense needs to step at the guy too. All right, kick, post, kick. I think this is, during camp, they're great. These are great drills when you get into punt and things like that. And you got your guys, although all my guys are on punt with the shield. So I love this drill. Okay, I pulled out a couple guys that are really good at it. You can see how quick your feet need to be, and it's really the defense, the defender, that helps make this drill. So I'm setting, wait till the guy gets in front of you and then step at him. And then as you get good at it, you can really start to move your feet. You can see how much ground he covered. And you're trying to keep your hip square. It's probably a little bit too fast. I think once you get good at it, you can go that fast. You're trying to keep your hips square and work kicks. And it's interesting when you watch this one, a lot of times that guy is going to want to give up that post leg. Maintain the post leg. This is just a back shot of it. Really sprawls. When I mean sprawls, you get wide with your base. Sprawls. He's decent with the transition, but don't stop. You want to keep your feet moving. And then the guy on defense is obviously ruining the drill. That's why I put this one in here. Bucky gets to the spot. Just slow down on defense. It's not a defensive drill. It's an offensive drill. But I love how Bucky's trying to stay square. And then don't be in a rush because I want the guy to get on you and then you punch. So you're working the punches. And I'll give you a couple. Yeah, another one I like here with the med balls or the bags. I like taking the helmet off to walk through it and then putting it back on and going a little faster. So this drill can start with a power. You could start just with balance. You could start with a kick. I've got a defender going one way, defender going the other, and then the defender right down the middle on a bull rush. And I also like to do this when he comes at me on a bull and then turns that in, no bag, turns it into a push-pull drill where he tries to pull me. I think that's a good one. If you don't have the bar, I think I have the bar on here, and I'll show that to you. All right, so this is Garrett Bell right here. Horrendous. I like his posture, but he's not in sync. He's kind of all over the place. He is so much better. Learning not to sprawl, moving his feet, and that's a whole year, though. That's a whole year of nonstop doing this. Just the feet and working in tight spaces. And I tell the guys, you can start right in front of the line, and the line is a cliff. Don't get knocked off the cliff. Anybody can do this drill where you're losing a lot of ground. Don't lose any ground. Things you can do in minimal space. You can, again, use it where if you have pads, you don't need the bag. You can use it with a med ball. Just different ways to do it. I love these. I've gone with these every day. I have my own mitts. I bought all my own stuff, so I have my med ball. I got the kick plates, all that stuff. So you guys in Oregon, come on by. We can do a little workout. But I love the mitts. So the one I've added every day is I put the mitts up. So we have a little circuit. So this would be the mitts. So over here would be the med balls. And then over here, they're working sets with their partner. And they're going right down the line. So when they get to me, it's 5, 5, 5, and then machine gun. And then I'll take it. I think you can see it if I go back. I have these poles that everybody has like a goal post. I'll come over here. I'll take the bags that you've seen. And I have a guy here holding the bag so it's across. And I'm just moving my feet, slightly feeling the ground. And I'm going two-hand punch. Okay, so I'm going two hands, then I'm going right hand, then I'm going left hand, then I'm going machine gun, and then I'm just maintaining my posture. And again, that stuff you can do off-season against a wall with a bag. Okay, so my mitts, use those, like I said, every day, and then I start walking them back. And I'll say, okay, all right, use your right hand. Like now he's kicking, then he powers back inside. Now the firm hands, like I love this every day, right, left, just an example of how to do it. And then, oh, let me get this one. This one is now moving, so I get the moving target. Okay, so now he's setting outside. Now he's back inside, coming flat. And again, aim small, miss small. This is a good one if you got one of these bags. Add this in, pop-up punches, and then I go around the world. Just have them keep moving around the bag because they're going to want to throw their hands. It's another way to work the punches. All right. Do I have the bar? All right. You guys can't. This is push-pull. So we have this bar. So it's like this. PVC piping. It's like that. Handle, handle, and then 2 inside. I hold inside, the defender holds outside, and it's a push-pull bar. It's awesome. It's not expensive either. And I use this all the time. This is just a push-pull drill that everybody does. But again, just to work your balance and your posture. Added this one in there. I love this drill. 5-man twist. I do this on Thursdays. Yep. Somebody got some? I do this on every Thursday. And what I'll do is I'll stand back here and I'll say, all right, give me this twist. I'm just pointing. Give me this twist. And you're there. And now everybody takes a set. It's like 5 down, money call, man call, whatever your deal is. And now you just pass the twist. So now I'm doing this 3-man game. Now I'm getting that. Now I'm going inside with that. But it's a great way to just get, 10, 15 twists done. You can get all your fancy twist and all that stuff. You can take one guy out and do it, but I like just covering guys up because everybody just takes a quick set, and now you pass off the twist verbally and physically. And then just something where you get to I wanted to show you what I was talking about on set. So here's the quarterback. There's going to be the launch point. Let's call it 7, okay? And then there's a defender. This really gives you a good example of the spot. So I really don't have to go very far. There's the line to stay inside out. I really don't. So for me, it's 1-2 punch on a 3 technique. If it's a 4-eye, it's 1-2-3 and punch. If that's my right guard and that's a 2-eye, I never want to go past via the neck. So it's really 1-2 quickly. The more you go past via the neck, you end up in the middle and you beat on a counter. So, guys, it really doesn't matter who's who. It's still going to be a shade, a shade, a shade, a shade, a shade, a shade. So a tight shade, a wide shade, a tight shade, a wide shade, tight, wide. And then you just work inside. Obviously, the center's just going the other way, but you can just have guys work, whether it's a cone, it's a hat, it doesn't matter. Just stand there and have them work the spot. You can't do that enough. So the spot is an everyday drill. Getting to the spot is everything to me. So the more you can do that, the better. And then the 4-eye was where it should be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and punch. Dion turns a little bit here. He kind of just, I don't think he beats him to the spot. He's pretty good there. I would go just a little bit more and then throw the hands. But Dion is so big on getting hands on quickly. So I've gotten through that. All right. Everyday drills, okay, things that we talk about, already went through. Stance, alignment, get-offs, 2-point, 3-point, work from ground up, warm up, 6-cone, 2-cone spot, what we talked about. Med ball posture, hold, slap, rotate, punch, set, and reset. Med ball footwork, sets, powers, combos, verticals, angles. Again, that's just holding the med ball and doing all your same stuff. Just holding it there. Grid squares, everybody up and wave drill, verbal. We went all through that. Add into punches, 2-hand punches. Already talked about individual hands. Med ball punches partner. I talked about that. I use 3 guys, or you can just use partner one and just throw it back and forth. Down the line punches you saw, sets and spot to add into punch. Post or wall punch we talked about. Kick, post, kick variations, 3-man med ball punch talked about, and the stack drill. And again, a lot of this, I mean, you're not going to do every single one everyday drills, but it's a way to just add to it. But I'm doing the majority of these every single day, and you can get these things done fast. Off season, talk about the EDD circuit. And again, I kind of hit on this pre-game routine. So I remember Maine did something like this, and I remember talking to Pakuch, and I'm like, they come out, and it just looks awesome. So at Austin Peay, we come out in different waves, and HUD was all right with me doing it. My guys don't want to come out and just do a dynamic stretch. So we bring them out and do the same thing that we would do on a Tuesday practice that we would do on Saturday. So we come out a little bit early. They get in their stretch, circle of trust, get a break, and then we go right into the 4 cones, right into the 6 cones, right into the spot, sets versus on the sets on cones, which is a spot drill, and then sets with the bag, so guys holding a med ball, and then a couple other things with the med ball, and then I do the mitts. But they do that before every game, and it gets them loose, gets them in a routine. It's kind of something they're used to, and it's football specific. It's not like you're just doing some hamstring stretch, and they get loose, and I think that's awesome. Those guys go inside, and the centers stay out, and it's a great way for a pregame routine. I think it's awesome. End on this off season. Love the resistance bands like we talked about. I have that. I'm not sure if I have it in my Indy. I'll look, and when I'm done this. Dumbbell punches. Found this in the off season with one of our guys. I'll show you when I'm done. Punches against the wall, 5 right, and I kind of hit on that already. And that's that part. Let me just see if I can real quick in my Indy, if I have it. I might not have it. Real quick. No, I don't have that one. I thought I would. But anyway, just kind of showed the bands, the resistance bands, kind of let you see it. But I don't have that on there. But I think the resistance band training is unbelievable for any time of the year. It's great, and it's super easy to implement. Anyway, like I said, I'm an open book, guys. You can, call, email me. We're always here. Anything that you need. Yeah, and like I said, home for me is New England, so I certainly appreciate you guys having me on. And there anybody got anything?
Yeah, if you guys want to turn on your cameras and turn on your mics and get some questions in with Coach before we let him go, come on in. I love the mitts, Coach.
The mitts to me they're unbelievable. I use them every day. Like I want to go. I wish you guys could follow me. I'll go out to my garage. I got the bag. I got a big duffel bag. I got the mitts. I got the PVC pipe. The PVC pipe is unbelievable to keep yourself square. I know everybody's kind of done that too, but I just think that's awesome. Like every day, and it's so easy to get done. You don't need a lot of space.
Right. Where did you get the mitts?
I just went online and found them, and I initially got them from Mississippi State. The guy let me take an old pair, and then somebody pilfered them from me at Austin Peay. So I just went online. I think I spent like $60. They're awesome. Yeah. Really good. I'll take a picture.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I'll send it to you. I'll take a picture.
Send it to me an email. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fellas, what do you got for questions?
Eddie, I just want to point out that there's another PSC alum down in one of these corners if you see him.
Where?
Great. You didn't even mention me, Eddie. That's fantastic.
Wait, I couldn't even see you. Are you kidding me? What's going on, man?
Not much.
How you doing?
Well, good. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, how long do you guys spend in your individual periods on all that stuff? How long does it take you to get through all that and throughout the course of the practice?
It kind of varies, but we know we're guaranteed. Like with the O-line, like usually you get special teams, but our guy loves my O-line on the punt, which whatever. I think it's stupid, but they're all on punt, so I lose them. I get like 2 guys, so I'm coaching those guys. But I would say 20 minutes. But I get them out, and like for 10 minutes, they're on their own and just working it. Like they know what to go to, and they go right to it. It's like a Linus in a security blanket. They get it. They're right to it. And like after practice, they'll be like, it's no longer, hey, coach, what do I work on? And no, you know what you need to work on. Like, all right, you want to do, what punch drill you want to do? Coach, what do you need me to work on? Downline punches. Let's work rock sets, which are play action and stepping on toes and things like that. But I would say 20 minutes every day. But the first 10 minutes of practice, like I'm done. Like pre-practice, I'm done a lot of that stuff. And it can change daily as far as like little tweaks to it. And I think like even I used to be like, oh, where are we going to go for space? It doesn't matter now. I don't care. You don't need a lot, you know?
Awesome. Coach
I was
Goff,
a
you
little
got
late
something?
to the party there. Yeah, I was a little late to the party there, so I'll certainly, once Coach Hath gets it up on YouTube, I'll certainly go back and watch it. I came in as you were working the medicine balls and everything. That looked awesome.
I swear by it. I'm sold on it, man. Yeah, here's the other thing. I know, like, I used to be like into the shoots and into, all that. I'm not. I'm into like the little mesh shoot to torture them, but to get them just to stay low is constantly working. What I was showing you with Bucky, like getting into that position and holding it, holding it, and holding it. You don't need to shoot because as soon as you guys know, as soon as you go in the shoot and you come out of it, you stand straight up. So you got to get them to work the core, and I think the med ball does that. And the one sled, I got to have wherever I go. I don't care if I'm coaching the boys club in Nashua, is a Crowther sled. I firmly believe in the Crowther. It's everything. Whether you're doing a shoulder block, whether you're doing a straight on drive, I love it. And I go no weight on it, just working by yourself. I have that in there too. And I'll send you guys anything, but that to me, the Crowther sled is awesome if you can get it.
Coach, who are some of the best offensive linemen you've ever coached?
Oh man, I mean, that's the higher the level's been unbelievable. At Oregon with Max Unger, who was a better person than he was a player, and he's just an unbelievable player.
Seahawks starting center, right?
He was, yeah, with Seahawks and the Saints, and then he's retired. And then most recently being at Mississippi State and working with those guys, Elton Jenkins, who's with Green Bay, Darrell Williams, who was, I thought, one of the best I've ever been around, and he just got a free agent with Kansas City. And then Shaq Calhoun, who's with the Dolphins. And they weren't super big. They were like 290, 300. Elton was, he's 6'4", but those other guys are 6'2" tops, and that's the other thing. Hud's always like, Eddie, he may be a little too short. I don't care. My center's 5'10". Bucky, was a freshman All-American, is 6'2.5". And I think in 1AA football, you can win with that. It's not about how tall to me and all the length and all that stuff. I think it's great. I just want guys that have some twitch mentality. I think's everything. Everything. And what I found more than anything, like I used to be like this super hard ass and all that. Nope. I coach hard for the 2 hours I'm out there. I love my guys. They respond way more to, like, I get it. I'm not all warm and fuzzy all the time, but they respond way more to you by throwing your arm around them and being like, hey, what's going on? They actually know you give a shit about them. So to me, the more they know you care about them, you can get away with anything coaching them.
Good point. Thank you so much.
Hey, absolutely.
Anybody else? Coach Wells, Coach Argas?
Coach
Great
Argas.
job. Great
Awesome
job.
man.
Nice job, Eddie.
Hey, I appreciate it. You guys ever need anything, reach out, get a hold of me. You guys are always welcome to. Open door anytime.
Awesome, man. Appreciate your time today, Coach. All the
Thank
way
you.
from Oregon.
That's exactly right. Hey,
Small world, fellas.
Coach Turner,
Yeah.
I still believe in the QB sneak. I still believe in it.
I do not believe in the QB sneak anymore.
Oh, Lord.
I still believe.